Welcome guys, back to another raw video where I just sit down for 20-30 minutes with you, talk about today currently the Threads strategy, specifically about the message I dropped inside my Telegram channel, and how this basically call works is I don't have a script I follow, I don't have any notes, I just purely look at my Telegram channel and that's it. And then once I stop yapping, I move over and share the screen on my iPad, and we get into the key points of where I want to go into specifically on Threads. Okay, so editor, don't cut this out. Quick snus break. Gotta be dialed in for the call. And before I switch over to the iPad, Threads is a platform that a lot of people underestimate, is because what I've seen in the industry is maybe 80% of accounts just don't pop off. And that is due just to the wrong content being posted on Threads. We will cover that a little bit at the end in terms of content, but the main call, or the main topic of this call, will be how to use Threads as a platform to boost your new Instagram accounts for you to start posting organic reels on. Okay, so that will be the main focus in today's call. I truly believe, whether it's a new Instagram you're starting or you already have an established Instagram, you should have to that account a Threads account linked. A couple of reasons. For example, one, it can be an alternative in traffic sources, so it's another traffic source. Second of all, Threads and Instagram are obviously created by Instagram, or let's say Threads is. So it's handy. It's two-in-one platform. And then thirdly, obviously, you can use it in multiple ways to benefit you, to benefit your new Instagram, i.e., using it in your warm-up phase. Okay, also a little bit of watermelon. Stay hydrated. Let's switch over to the iPad now, and I want to break down exactly how I use Threads inside my agency. I use it for two things. One is purely just as a traffic source, which is all being funneled outside of Threads to a different platform. And then on that platform, I have CupidBot running, and then CupidBot does all the converting to a paid page. Okay. Or the second way is I use Threads as an additional platform to boost my new Instagram accounts, whether that's in the warm-up phase, the warm-up period where I warm up specifically the Instagram account before I start posting reels, or just additional traffic to that new Instagram account when I'm also in the middle of posting reels. Okay. Today we're going to cover the second way I use Threads. So the way where I use it into the Instagram warm up and whilst posting reels. Okay. So first thing, let's focus on the warm up when it comes to Instagram. Okay. So I want you to do, let's say, a 5 to 11 day warm up. And this is going to be done on your new IG account, right? And I'm not going to get into the specifics of how you should do that warm up. What the most important thing when it comes to this period of time is when you link or create the threads to this new Instagram account. So let's say you've got your aged account and you're doing your human action behaviors. you're setting up the profile, you're posting your feed pictures, you've changed the username, you've changed the name, you've set up a profile picture. Let's say you're on, let's say day 5/7, okay? And once we get to day 5 and 7, I think that Instagram now is already set up and is ready for you to now link the threads. So you link the threads to the Instagram account. Run this on your normal phones, run this on your iPhones, run this on let's say jailbroken phones to avoid any problems, etc. So once you have linked your threads, and bear in mind here, you've already warmed up the For You page, so you have only showing OnlyFans creators, OnlyFans Reels. What you're going to realize when you create this Threads account, the FYP on Threads should already show you OF creators only, okay? So if it isn't showing you OF creators or majority of OF creators, okay, then you have done a shit warm up for your Instagram. Now, how the warm up or how I use Threads to warm up my new Instagram accounts is like this. So on Threads, there is a lot of creators that are not really posting reels or not really using Instagram. There are creators on Threads that are just purely using Threads. Okay, they may be posting like very crazy adult content, very controversial posts, captions, and that's kind of the creators you want to look at. Or you want to look at creators between the following of 20 to 40k followers on Threads. This is Threads, right? And the reason why I want you to look at this followers count is because once we get to that part, but I will explain now, is when you click their Instagram profile, they'll maybe have a maximum of 5,000, 8,000, 9,000 followers, even probably less. And that's a sweet spot where we want to be. Anything over that number, you want to avoid, right? So this is why I don't do this directly on Instagram and actually use Threads for the warm-up period. So now I want you to find these creators and I want you to click on their Threads profile. And then at the top right corner, you're going to see obviously the Instagram button to take you to their Instagram. I want you to find the IG button and I want you to click. So from Threads, I want you to click that Instagram button. So now you're transferred over to their Instagram account. And what you're probably going to see on that Instagram account is just posts or maybe no posts at all. Sometimes it's just like a blank profile, but they have all the followers gained from the Threads account, right? And what I've realized is majority of these models have a very high percent of US male followers. And what we want to do from here is go to their followers and start picking out, really hand picking out to follow these USA male guys, okay? So from, let's say, day 7, day 8, or day 10, let's just say you're on day 7. And from day 7, I want you to start following 5 USA male guys from, let's say, that Threads creator, but obviously on your new Instagram profile, right? And then once we get obviously to day 8, I want you to increase that to 10. Day 9 is going to be 15. Day 10, 20. Day 11, 25. Day 12, 30. And once you get to 30 following per day of the USA guys from these Threads creators, is I want you to cap it at this number, and I want you to do this for another 3 to 5 days, okay? So to make it more, to break it down more, is you're basically doing a follow unfollow, but you're not really unfollowing, right? This is also depending on you. I'm not going to say which one's right or wrong because both are right. Is that IG also what you've just created or what you've just warmed up can be private or public. In my preference, I usually have it private, is because I also send TikTok traffic to that account before I start posting. But let's say you're not relying on TikTok, you're not relying on any other platform other than Threads, then go with a public profile. And then from, like I said, you're gonna get up to 30 following, yes. And you're going to repeat this for 3 to 5 days, okay? So now you have, let's say, followed 30 people for 3 days, 90 people with other the 5, 10, 15. Let's say you followed an estimate of 150 people, right? To your new Instagram account. Of only USA male guys. And what you're gonna realize when you follow those people, maybe 20% of those people are going to follow you back. Which is good, which is what we want, which is, we see that the warm-up method is working. The reason why, like I said again, why I don't like to just find these models directly on Instagram is, one, hard to find models with a low followers count, as majority of models being shown on the FYP have already, let's say, 20K plus followers existing. And if you try to go through these 20K followers, majority of those followers are from non-USA countries, or non-USA, let's say, cities, or whatever, how you want to break it down. And I've been doing this warm-up / boosting strategy for a while now, okay? So this is one way that you can do this to warm up your Instagram accounts before you start posting reels, okay? So, and last important thing I want to add is, obviously, once you do the 30 following on, like, let's say day 7, 8, 9, find different creators on Threads to follow from, right? I don't want you just, on day 7, day 8, day 9, follow from that one creator you just found on Threads. No, that's one thing I for sure not want you to do. I want you to also look a little bit deeper into threads and find creators similar to your model. Okay, that's very important as well. This last point will increase this right here of the follow back on this new account. Threads is that type of platform where the audience is majority USA, especially on, let's say, accounts that have very good quality content and content that is, or quality, like content that really looks like the model is from the USA, or you know, from a first world country, or very attractive Asian, etc. You hardly get like guys or audience that is from like India, Pakistan, etc. There is a lot, but that's also due to a different type of content. Right, so you have done this now, and I want to also cover a little bit about the thread strategy, and how I like to, let's say, additionally build the Instagram accounts by directly posting on threads, or when I've already started posting reels on Instagram, is how I give those Instagram reels a little boost. Okay, in terms of the posting, my methods on threads of posting are a little bit unique, so I won't really get into that, but like the basics, the tips I can give you is that you want to stand out on threads. And what I mean by that is avoid posting same content from Instagram, let's say even TikTok, etc. Threads content has to be completely different to Instagram, let's say, feed post content. It has to be, let's say, very risky, weird, and obviously a little bit controversial, okay? And in terms of what I would do or how I would post and even engage on threads to really get you that maximization of going viral, is 4 to 6 posts per day, with starting off with 10 to 15 comments on other models. Okay, this is gonna give you a huge boost in terms of getting your, let's say, account from scratch out there. Cool. And in terms of talking about now the threads posting and what type of content that I would go ahead and post on there, is kind of like on the edge, like on the other platforms that you would kind of get banned for, or no, or it just wouldn't work on. Okay, so one thing that I like to use, and I've always done this when it comes to threads, is using, let's say, other adult creators' content on threads. And I will explain this more in detail. Using other, let's say, accounts content. Now, what I mean by this is on threads, you're going to see a lot of accounts that are not really OnlyFans related, quite frankly, I don't even know what their mission is behind it. But they post a lot of stuff where it's, for example, a wet patch on the bed, or for example, it's a very low quality picture of the model's body on the white wall from the sun reflection, and she's naked, and let's say the nipples are popping out. Or it's, for example, the model's hand or some a woman's hand, and the fingers are wet, and it looks like she's, let's say, taking like a photo, and you've got like the grid lines. Those types of content I would save and then match it up with my model's content. So let's put this down. So for example, let's put downloading content, and then using our models content. So you probably know how Threads works, but there is usually two pictures minimum posted on Threads, right? Like, for example, the car itself on Instagram, right? But that's kind of like the usual post on Threads, okay? So post one, or not post one, but pick one is going to be, let's say, the wet fingers, and pick two is going to be our models content. And this can be, let's say, just a selfie, mirror pic, this can also be a picture where she is, no, cut this out, this part, this, I'm yapping. And that's one of the, let's say, posting strategies that I would do. The second posting strategy is what I have seen a lot, is a lot of AI. Now, when it comes to AI on Threads, is you want to make the model look young as possible. Okay, young as possible. I don't know why my fucking pen is writing like this. And the reason why is because these guys just love the young looking models, right? And to add to that, what I would now do is make her wear a police uniform, let's say an army uniform. What I've seen also work well is she's a firefighter. So you can now, let's say, brand your model with the AI specifically on Threads, and on Instagram you can have kind of like something completely different. And on Instagram is where the real content is at. And it quite frankly doesn't matter if you're posting the firefighter, the police uniform, or the young looking model as possible. To just having now a normal posting real strategy on Threads, okay? And when it comes to this type of content, it's beneficial. Why? Because now we don't rely on the model. We can now post multiple times without getting 100, pictures from the model. And of course, this saves us time in a way where us and the agency, we can just, yeah, fucking scale this through the roof, okay? And lastly, what you might also realize on Threads is a lot of like features where you have to click to see even like captions. And even captions that you need to reveal to see. And for example, I'm gonna get my phone. Oh, I cannot get my phone for this. It's fucking recording, but I don't want to mess this up. But for example, what caption works amazing on Threads is, for example, I this is just on top of my head, so it might not be right. I need someone to, and then we have, let's say, you see, yeah, with, or I need someone to suck with, right? And this S is like blurred. And then when the guy clicks the unblur, he now sees the full caption. This makes the people engage more to your posts, and this just shows obviously Threads that people like your posts, and it just sends them out to the FYP, okay? So use these features that have been added by Threads, because they have been added for quite some time now, but they weren't added like from the beginning of the application. And this is for sure one thing that does also help. Captions are very important when it comes to what you're posting. You want to be a little bit also controversial with the captions, or you want to take it over the line, whereas post these type of captions like, oh, I need someone to fuck with, and then FU is blurred. Or use ChatGPT with the content planner to just generate you captions that are kind of like not safe to work, okay? After the video, I'm gonna drop a few examples of the captions that I would use, and the examples of how the actual click to see caption on reveal, the blur, looks like on Threads. So that's that for today's video. Now I want you to start implementing this warm-up / boosting strategy for your new Instagram accounts, and then transitioning to then posting on your Threads accounts to get directly followers from Threads to your new Instagram accounts when posting reels. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna start doing these every single week. I'll set an exact date when we'll have each video drop, and each video will be different, raw, unique, authentic, of just what I'm currently doing inside my agency, trying to get my word out to you guys, via the recording and via the iPad notes. So see you in the next one.